Good day, everyone. Rationalization is always a very important topic, and this is going to continue till your 12th standard. So you need to understand clearly why are we rationalizing, and how necessary it is to be done. So we know that when you have an irrational number in the denominator, according to the mathematical etiquettes, we are not supposed to have a root number in the denominator. So the process by which we get rid of the root in the denominator is called rationalization. Okay, for example, if I have 1 by root 2 as a final answer after solving so many steps, you're not supposed to leave the answer like this. Instead, we have to multiply this by root 2 and divide by root 2. So actually, again, the control, we are multiplying by 1 to a particular number by which we are not actually changing anything from the problem. But இதை ஏன் நம்ம பண்றோம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, just to represent this in a mathematically acceptable form. அந்த மாதிரி எழுதணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக we are doing this process and we are arriving at a different form of representing the same answer. So this is going to be 1 into root 2 is root 2 divided by root 2 into root 2 is 2. Why do we do this? Because squaring is the only way by which you can get rid of the root symbol. அதுக்காக தான் we are multiplying by the same number root 2 and root 2 in the numerator and denominator. So இது ஒரு pattern. Okay, this can also be done when the question is about root 3 or root 5 or root 7, whatever it is. Okay, any irrational number you can always multiply by the same number and divide by the same number and rewrite in a different format altogether. So this is the first pattern in this rationalization. Okay, next in you have a combination of rational and irrational number. So in the Mari again, the only way of getting rid of the root in these pattern of problems is that you have to do a square minus b square. This root will also again get to be eliminated. So what do you do here? Now you write the same number as it is, just change the sign, whatever is present in the question. Question the opposite sign and multiply and divide by the same new rationalizing factor. So this is the entire process. Okay, you cannot multiply numerator alone by 3 minus root 5. You cannot multiply denominator alone by 3 minus root 5. Why? Because we can only multiply by 1 to the particular number and 1 on the in the format. Clear understand you have to start working out. Okay. So here 1 into any number is the same number in the numerator, and denominator will be a square minus b square for all the problems, 100% for rationalization questions. No doubt at all in these kind of questions. Okay, so it's always a square minus b square in the denominator. That's the only option by which you can get rid of the root. Okay, so what happens to the numerator? No change. It is 3 minus root 5. Denominator, you have 3 square minus root 5 square. And you have to get to know that any irrational number when square just comes out of the root. In the one, don't write it as root 9 and then write 3. Okay, it is directly 3. Root 5 whole square is not root 25. In fact, it is root 25. But directly we get 5 ne, so the final answer will be 3 minus root 5 divided by 4. That's it. This is the second pattern. Okay, both combination part, rational and irrational number. The next pattern will be, you will have, let's say, 2 plus root 5 by 2 minus root 5. Mainly the combination rational plus irrational, denominator the combination. In the see, you forget the numerator. Okay, the rationalization definition only to get rid of the root in the denominator. So in the opposite sign, but that has to be duplicated in the numerator also. You will not have minus here, plus here, or you will not have plus here, minus here. Okay, it is only the same opposite sign of whatever is present in the question. Make it really very clear. Revisit this video one more time or 2 many times, how many ever times you want, and get rid of this basic concept. So numerator, if you see, it is the same number with the same sign. 2 plus root 5, 2 plus root 5. So you have to write it as 2 plus root 5 the whole square. Denominator a square minus b square. A square minus b square. So it is now a plus b whole square. So a square plus 2ab plus b square divided by minus 1. So this is how this problem changes after the process of rationalization. Now let's simplify this even further. 9 plus 4 root 5. Okay. The next major mistake students make is they will try to add these two and represent this as 8 root 5, which is a very, very big mistake. Never do that. You cannot do that. Okay. இங்க இருக்கிற நம்பர் அதையும் irrational ஆட் பண்ணவே முடியாது. Never do that. So இங்க like terms in two whole numbers here 4 and 5 அதை மட்டும் தான் ஆட் பண்ண முடியும். 4 root 5 as such it will travel throughout the question because it cannot be added or subtracted with the whole number. இதையும் clear-ஆ வச்சுக்கோங்க. Make notes, write it down somewhere until it is completely registered and you will never make this mistake again if you come across such a problem. So 9 plus root 5 divided by minus 1. The minus 1 என்ன பண்ணலாம்? Minus 1 definitely கீழே இருக்கக்கூடாது. This is another mathematical etiquette. You have to bring it to the numerator. This is the final representation of the answer. சரியா? ஸோ இப்படி கிராஜுவலாக உங்களுக்கு மூவ் ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும் ப்ராப்ளம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பார்த்தோம்? ஒரே ஒரு irrational part. Then a combination of rational and irrational. Now a combination in both numerator and denominator. So pattern basic concept என்ன தெரிஞ்சுட்டா as in how the problem difficulty increases, you don't have to be afraid of that. Okay, just keep moving on. So next one, இதே question எடுத்துக்கிறேன். 2 plus root 5 by 2 minus root 5 plus 2 minus root 5 by 2 plus root 5. Now you see the level of difficulty அப்படியே increase ஆகி in one more pattern. Okay, let's treat this as two different questions as one question. Okay, நம்ம எதை பண்ண போறோம்? தனியா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டேர்ம் ரேஷனலைஸ் பண்ண போறோம் and the second term rationalize பண்ண போறோம். அது ரெண்டுத்தையும் ஆட் பண்ண போறோம். This is how we do. இதுக்கு அட்வான்ஸ்டா போகும்போது we will do using LCM and we will have it in a simplified version. But now let's only do this. So in the term மட்டும் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா this 2 plus root 5 by 2 minus root 5 multiply and divide by what? The opposite sign of the denominator. Opposite sign of denominator. இதை செப்பரேட்டா பண்ணலாம். Now I'm only concentrating on this and I'm going to simplify the first part of the question. Okay. So இங்க நான் change பண்ணலாம் பண்ணுங்க. So this is minus of 9 plus 4. We have done this. Okay. Now let's come to this. இங்க 2 minus root 5 by 2 plus root 5. கிட்டத்தட்ட பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த fraction ஓட mirror image மாதிரி இருக்கு. Signs are interchanged. Now only see the sign in the denominator plus இருக்கு. So you have to write minus. Okay. The same thing in the numerator also. நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லையா numerator நீங்க பார்க்கவே வேண்டாம். இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம எதுவுமே பண்ண போறது கிடையாது. Only based on the sign present here, you're going to introduce the opposite sign. Okay. இப்போ இதை சால்வ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா என்னாச்சு? 2 minus root 5 the whole square in the numerator by 4 minus 5 in the denominator. இதுல ஒண்ணுமே சேஞ்ச் இல்லை. இங்க நம்பர்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு இன்டர்சேஞ்ச் ஆகியிருக்கு. So when you multiply 4 into 3, it is 12. 3 into 4 is also 12, right? So you always get here 4 minus 5 only, because just that denominators are interchanged. So மேல என்ன ஆகும் இப்போ? A square plus B square minus 2AB. That's the only difference when compared to the previous term, divided by minus 1. So this will be 9 minus 4 root 5 by minus 1. Minus மேல கொண்டு வந்தோம்னா see immediately my hand goes for a bracket. You know, this minus is applied for any number of terms present in the numerator. இது வந்து இப்படி போட்டா என்ன டிஃபரன்ஸ் சொல்றேன்? minus 9 minus 4 root 5 bracket இல்லாம போட்டீங்கன்னா now you're applying the minus only for the first number 9, which is wrong. In the understanding develop ஆகதான் math becomes really very easy. This minus or this minus 1 is for all the values above it. Okay. I've seen students doing like this 4 plus 2 root 5 by 2. இதை மட்டும் கட் பண்ணுவாங்க, which is a blunder, not even a mistake. Okay. This 2 is for all the terms present in the numerator. So either you have to write 4 by 2 plus 2 root 5 by 2. This is all the meaning. Now you can cancel this, you can simplify this. இப்படிதான் பண்ண முடியும். Okay. We cannot only use this 2 to cut this or cut this. It has to be used for both the terms in the numerator. So never ever make this mistake again. எப்பவுமே எதுலையுமே இதை பண்ணவே முடியாது. Note this point. So the minus மேல கொண்டு வந்து now bracket automatically வந்துருச்சு 9 minus 4 over 5. Now you can take this minus inside, it becomes minus 9 plus 4 over 5. Hope you all understand this. Minus is applied to 9, minus into plus minus, minus into minus plus. So you get minus 9 plus 4 over 5. இங்கேயும் இந்த மைனஸ் உள்ள கொண்டு வந்துடலாம் bracket குள்ள. It becomes minus 9 minus 4 over 5. Okay. So now I think you will able to get this. இதுதான் first term ஓட simplest form, second fraction ஓட simplest form, and there is a plus sign in between. So you're going to add both the simplest versions. Add பண்ண என்ன ஆகும்? Minus a number plus the same number, it will get cancelled, opposite side. So the final answer is minus 18. So this is how rationalization has to be approached, and you have to definitely do multiple problems on this and ensure that you are mastering this topic. This is very useful. This is, as I told you, it's an etiquette rule to be followed while you present the answer. See you also in another video. Until then, practice really well. Take care. Bye-bye.